Hello, beautiful muses. Welcome to another CosmoMuse tarot reading with our Yes, No, Maybe Friday Insight. It's a weekly reading that I do and post every Friday. Some things to know if you are new to this reading is there's some certain things about both the way you phrase your question and the best kinds of questions to bring here. So phrase your question in a way that if you were to get a yes, that would feel like a positive outcome. And then the other thing is, by all means, bring whatever questions you want here. But the way I'm reading the energies and my intention with these readings is to answer questions that are a little bit deeper, that have a little bit more energetic entanglement in them. So my typical example would be, instead of asking something like, am I going to get this job? Where it's just very black and white, yes or no, like say you've done your final interview for something, rather ask, would I like this job? Or is this job suitable for me? Or am I looking at the right kinds of jobs? You know, just something a little bit more, with a little more depth. If you're looking for just really black and white question, yes and no's, you can do a much more simple reading. Just, get a dice and say if it's 1 through 3, it's yes, 4 through 6 is no, something like that, where it's just like really black and white. You don't need a full reading for that. But whatever you want to bring here, that's fine. And if you do bring a more simple or black and white question, just take and leave whatever resonates. Okay, that said, we've got 4 piles. Pile 1, we've got orange Chalcedony. Pile 2, Moonstone pillar. Pile 3, a raw clear crystal quartz. And pile 4, we've got a rose quartz pillar. Okay, for those of you that have your own way of choosing piles, you can pause here and then jump to the timestamps in the descriptions. If you like the breath work I do to help you get into intuition as well as sort of higher guidance, we will start that now. So place your feet firmly on the ground. Feel into that stability and support, kind of calming your nervous system. And now take a deep breath into your body and really anchor into your body to anchor into that grounding. Hold that, and now exhale. And now take another deep breath in, and this time suck the air up, up, up into the space between your brows where your third eye lives. Hold that. Suck in a little more to add some pressure there. And now out loud, exhale, opening your crown chakra. Okay, gaze over the 4 piles and ask which one aligns with your question, or if you have multiple questions, you can pick multiple piles. All right, I'll see you in your readings. Hello, pile 1. Welcome to your Yes, No, Maybe Friday Insight reading. You guys picked this beautiful orange Chalcedony. It's been one of the stones I've been using a lot this summer. It's just felt very active and present every time I go to pick stones. And today, some intuitive hits that came as I was preparing your pile. Before we turn cards over, I like to get into those. I just felt this very kind of sweet, nurturing energy. And I'm not sure if it's because you sort of need a sweet, nurturing message, or if that's your general kind of energy, or it could be that the thing you're asking about needs some sweet, nurturing, nourishing energy from you. Whatever resonates for you, I would take that. It could even be all of the above. So it doesn't necessarily give us our yes, no, maybe. It's just something, kind of an energetic quality I'm picking up. So I will try to read whatever message comes out in a more sweet, nourishing way if possible. Okay, so let's check out the cards. We've got change. Yeah, maybe there's something about this question or that you're going through where there's a lot of change being felt, which can always bring, uncertainty. It can bring anticipation. It can bring fear. It can bring up all sorts of things. And so maybe, if this question relates to sort of a transition you're going through, it could just be, the energy I felt, kind of guidance to work on grounding yourself, some self-care through that if there's some uncertainty about that. Loyal heart. Yeah, maybe there's some relationship changes going on. It's still kind of neutral though, because I could see that the images I'm getting feel very sweet, but the energy I was picking up before could mean that you're just needing a little TLC because those changes are uncertain. Hopefully the tarot card last kind of helps so like push this towards a yes or no, because I'm just like picking up, change of heart, change in relationships. I'm really struggling to get a vibe of whether this is positive or negative. And so what that makes me think initially is that it's a little different for each of you, which may make it difficult to get a real clear yes/no here. But what we do know is that there's change taking place, something connected to your heart, and a change, maybe something that's really dear to your heart, that your heart had attachment to, and there's change going on with it, which can be difficult, even if it's positive, even if that change feels positive. Sometimes it's hard to move out of comfort zones, even if it's like growth. Okay, let's see what your tarot card is. I feel like that's going to tell us a lot about if this is sort of more of a difficult change or something that's positive for you. I'm feeling this is a no. There's some kind of change of heart going on here. It doesn't have to be in a relationship, but I definitely feel like there's a change of heart about something, and it's time to walk away, and it's time to really take care of yourself. A little bit of extra dreaming time, sleeping time, decompressing time, getting lost. I'm feeling like some guidance to tell you to like go out into nature, to really observe natural life, natural beauty, to kind of reconnect with your own natural essence. And that there's just like, even though the path ahead isn't clear, there is a path ahead, and it's just like one step at a time. There's a lot of pairings here too, so that does make me think for a lot of you it could be something about relationships, partnerships, some kind of twinning effect, pairing effect of something. It doesn't have to be the case for everybody, but it's just time to look ahead and move on. Your heart needs you to find things that are more aligned to it, that have better keys that fit better. I'm looking at the keys up here. It's like there's something better for your heart moving forward. This does feel, even though there's, Eight of Cups always holds a little bit of sorrow, this change card in itself feels a little bit light and dreamy. So this may be something where you kind of know and you kind of sense better horizons ahead. And I think that that change is going to bring blessings. It's going to bring beauty. It's going to bring something your heart can feel more loyalty to and from. So just kind of trust it where it leads you, one step at a time, as directed by your heart. Yeah. Okay, so it is a no here, but trust in your heart. It's going to lead you to the right path, to things that bring more loyalty to your heart. So that is something to look forward to ahead, though. Okay, this is where I'm going to leave you guys. Definitely tend to some self-care right now, and I hope you are having a good day despite this, wherever and whenever you are. If this resonates, I always appreciate the things like share, subscribe, and it's always nice to also hear kind and thoughtful comments from actual humans and voices out there. So yeah, I will see you in future readings. Hello, Pile 2. Welcome to your Friday Insight. Yes, no, maybe questions. You guys picked this beautiful moonstone pillar or point. And just an intuitive hit I got as I was preparing your pile and tuning into you guys was just this really, and I don't know if it's like your energy in general or some energy around your question, it could be either or both, was just like this sense of calm and reverence. In a sense of like, there's something maybe you are respecting really well about yourself and really calm and centered in that, or towards your question, something about your question having that kind of energy around it, which doesn't necessarily give us yes, no, maybe answer, but there is a leaning here that I'm already feeling of like kind of this thing of like, you've got this, maybe. You're respecting and honoring this question in a beautiful way, at least. Let's dive into the cards, though, to get more clarity on that actual aspect of this. Forgiveness, beautiful. So maybe there's something actually that you are potentially kind of letting go. In the sense of, I just feel like a calm coming into you, because it's like maybe you're letting go of some shadow things like anger or blame or shame, or those kinds of, like, you're letting go of like acknowledging a shadow, which is letting it kind of dissolve a little bit or blend a little better. So that doesn't necessarily, for you that may answer something, but in the overall picture for me, that doesn't necessarily sway a yes or no here, but I do feel a nice relief that's bringing a calm into you. Blessed. Yeah, that's so this does feel like whatever you're letting go is positive for this question. That's where I was like, I'm not sure if you're letting go in terms of needing to let go of something about this question, or you're letting go of something which is blessing this question, and it is that. So that's very positive. This is drawing me in more towards a yes because of that. But either way, even if this card like really distinctly points to a no, because I'm going to wait to get the final with this, whatever this card says, the work you're doing, the energy you're centering in around this question right now is going to bring kind of a blessed quality to you. And this is exactly the energy I was feeling as I was preparing your cards. It was like centered, reverent, peaceful, and that does just bring beautiful things towards you, even if you don't get a yes for this question, but it is leaning for me right now towards a yes. Oh, and then we have 22, which is a master builder number. Yeah, even more towards a yes for me. But let's see what your tarot card is. The Fool, new beginning. Especially if this is a question about whether or not this new path is right for you. Hell yes, is what I'm getting. For the rest of you, if it doesn't have anything to do with like a new path or a new thing or fresh energy, this is saying that a blessed new spark is coming towards you. New hope is coming towards you. And it all has to do with kind of really forgiving. And I think it's more some inner things, some inner work you're doing. Forgiveness for certain shadow elements you've been grappling with within you. And it's like you're letting these things go. You're seeing how to do that. And it's bringing out just new hope, a new spark within you. So I'm feeling overall a yes here, but especially for those of you where this question is around like kind of a fresh something, fresh direction, fresh project, fresh whatever, something new. But whatever your question is, I'm feeling just a lightening up coming in, a softening coming in, which will bring in some new hope for you around whatever this question is. And definitely just the impetus to move forward here. Okay, so yeah, beautiful reading. And just feeling that definite urge to, you know, tell you guys to acknowledge the work you've done, no matter how this result feels to you. What these cards say is like you really need to acknowledge the inner work you have done that's led you to even asking this question, because it's brought in some really beautiful energy. Okay, so this is where I'm going to leave you. If it resonated, I always appreciate the things like share, subscribe, and always grateful and appreciate simple, kind, thoughtful comments from you real humans that are actually out there. You know, oftentimes as readers, we see just like a lot of numbers and data, and it's just fun to hear a voice speak up. So even if it's just like, yeah, pile 1, great, you know, or whatever, you know, I guess this is pile 2, whatever, or like a thumbs up, you know, just nice to feel that humanness there. Okay, yeah, this is where I'm going to leave you, and I hope you have a beautiful day wherever and whenever you are. All right, see you guys. Hello, Pile 3. Welcome to your Yes, No, Maybe Friday Insight. You guys picked this raw, clear crystal quartz. And if you've come to these readings before, you know that I always tap into intuitive hits that came as I was preparing your pile before diving into the cards. And this one was hilarious. This card flipped over and I was already putting it down, and so I saw it and I felt like I was supposed to. And then the same did for this one, but it was a little quicker that I couldn't actually see what like the keyword was, or like a real clear. It was more like I kind of took in some colors and vibes of the card, but I didn't really deeply see what it was. And this was the only one where I didn't see anything about it. And I mean, it's really rare that I even see a glimpse of one of these beforehand. So the fact that I saw completely one and partially another and it was like immediate. These cards were coming out really easily and clear, and the energy even before that felt very clear. And so the vibe, I'll get to the cards when we get to them. I don't want to reveal what they are until we see them. But they felt very positive. So I'm definitely already, before even turning these over, leaning towards a yes. That said, I want to see what this card is before I really make that declaration. But the main message that I feel this was about was that whatever you are asking about, it's like within days, if not hours of seeing this reading, it's going to become clear to you the answer anyway. So, so you may be asking a lot of you may be asking more simple questions or immediate questions. And I think that clarity, if not full on answer, is going to kind of like manifest in your life very quickly. Okay, so let's get into the cards. So pleasure was the card I fully saw, and it just gave me a really beautiful, and just feeling into this clear energy here with, the clear votive, and I already just sort of had this clear crystal quartz out, and then your stone you picked that is clear crystal quartz. And then seeing this card with it, and the selenite up here, it's just like, it's just beautiful, like just gentle, there's just like a gentleness here, an easy, I feel like saying an easy pleasure, a clear pleasure. It feels like beautiful energy. So if we were going on this card alone, it would feel like a definite yes, but I want to see what these others are, not to kind of jump the gun, because that does feel like things are jumping, and I don't want to make assumptions. So, I just saw kind of like the pink and like arm outstretched. I didn't really see exactly what was going on, and I definitely didn't see the exchanging gift or that there was a gift. And so, whatever's coming in here, what I would say is really open up to receptivity. Something that's coming in towards you, but you have to be open to receiving and open to that kind of exchange that comes with being in harmony with the flow of life. That requires both putting yourself out there and taking other things in as they come towards you. So it's just like really pay attention to things you need to respond to. Both the cat and this kind of fairy woman are responding to each other. They're tuned into each other. They're giving and receiving from each other. So just like really pay attention to those things, to the presence of others in your environment and how you're dancing with them, how you're harmonizing with them. Are you taking their energy in and giving them your energy? It doesn't, this exchanging gifts to me doesn't necessarily have to be like physical gifts. It can just be the gift of like giving and receiving of yourself, of each other. I feel a lot about that with just the exchange here. It just feels like they're giving each other to each other. They're open to giving and they're open to, taking in. Okay, but let's see what the tarot is, and that will kind of give us, beautiful. Definite yes, you guys. The star, hope, divine timing, being able to see something about the future. Just stay positive, stay open, stay in a state of belief. Move. The way you move around this question or feel around this question is try to feel some beauty about it, to feel some pleasure with how you engage energy around this question. Be open to that flow of exchange that's around you. Just be really tuned in here. And I think, your answer, like I said, is coming. There's some clarity here that I felt and something coming in quickly. So this is one of the more simple readings I've done. Just clear. Everything went as I assumed, but I didn't want to make assumptions, but it is that. So this is where I'm going to leave you. If this resonated, I always appreciate the things. Like, share, subscribe. It's always nice. I'm always grateful to get kind and thoughtful comments, and I hope you have a beautiful day wherever and whenever you are. All right, see you guys. Hello, Pile 4. Welcome to your Friday Insight with your yes, no, maybe reading. You guys picked the rose quartz pillar or point. And if you have not been to these readings before, I like to jump into any intuitive hits that come before we actually turn over the cards. And so as I was tuning into your pile, I felt like a really gentle softness, but almost immediately I kind of questioned that. Like, is that, I sometimes when I feel that, it feels really beautiful. And I wouldn't say that it didn't feel beautiful, but it was like immediately I kind of had this like response to that feeling of like, are you, is this an escapist mode though? Is there something you're avoiding by being in like a dreamy state? So I don't know. That definitely doesn't mean you're getting a no here. But it did feel like guidance. Is there something you need to kind of like around this question sort of be more grounded in? I almost said like, do you need to confront or go head on with that? And that felt too much. So I don't think that it's like totally negative that you're like, this question feels a little ungrounded to me. Like you don't necessarily maybe need to get like aggressive about this, but there is something where you need to ground this more. And I almost sort of, compare the feeling of this kind of ethereal, angelic feeling that's really light and airy to this ranunculus flower that's very grounded, very deep, very kind of earthy. And it just makes me feel like I feel that contrast pulling at me. And it feels like something needs to be grounded, like something practical needs to anchor in here. And it's interesting, when I pulled your tarot card, which is this one, 2 came out, and I just decided to take them both. So we'll see what that is. There's just like something extra too that Spirit wants to bring. But let's get into the cards to really decipher, because none of that necessarily points to a yes or no. It's just like some guidance, some extra guidance coming in. Okay, so we've got Gateway. So there may be sort of like a new threshold that you're at, or that you've just stepped over. Maybe you're in kind of foreign territory or about to be in foreign territory, or there's just like something new you're about to step into here. And anytime I do see a unicorn, it's sort of like this thing of like, trust your inner knowing. Find some quiet space to even like get in touch with that inner knowing, but you do have some inner knowing here that will really guide you and lead you. And it is a little bit, this image is definitely a bit fantastical. And I do wonder if that's just like something where this is like the dreamscape, but you may need to sort of like open your eyes more to see what's really there versus what is there in that dreamscape. I don't know. But it's sort of like when that inner knowing is showing you that dreamscape. And so metaphorically, there's something beautiful here that your inner knowing's trying to show you, I think. Yeah, let's see what this card says. Here and now. Yeah, this is saying whatever threshold you've stepped into, it's time to be present with that. The past is in the past, and the future is unknown as to how this path, this new threshold will evolve. And what is needed from you is to just center in your present. And that's even another thing with the unicorn horn. It's just like being present. Yeah, so there's something about, grounding, getting out of, either attachments or memories or nostalgia about the past, or anticipation or hyperfixation on where this path is going. There's something about being present to the moment and allowing you to kind of like meander a little bit that will help you to create the future you want. There's no way to kind of like plan that at this moment. There's too many unknowns. It's like you need to get familiar with what's right in front of you right at this moment. And there's something really beautiful about that though, but it is sort of like this thing of like, come back down to earth. Get out of your head, get out of thinking of past and future, and just be with that new energy around you that's unfolding, that's maybe hard to know where it's going, but like trust your inner knowing. It will lead you, it will steer you correctly. Okay, let's see what your cards have to say. 5 of Cups. Whew, yeah, you've left something behind is what I'm feeling. And so it's more the past thing here still has a hold on you. And there's something needing to go forward here. And you guys, I really love to try and get clear yeses and nos for you. But I feel this question has so much nuance in it, or maybe there's so much variety of how people have asked the question that they've brought here, and so I'm having to answer kind of a diverse set of things, but I'm really struggling to give a distinct yes/no here. What I can say for certain, and this may end up feeling like a yes to some of you, and it may end up feeling like a no to some of you based on what I say here, is it's time to let the past go and to move forward. And I think you're already in that move. Like, life is moving forward already, whether you are paying attention or not. And that's where it's like, come back down to earth and be here now, because life is actually moving forward in really beautiful ways. And it's going to lead you to this dreamscape in your inner knowing that is full of wish fulfillment and flourishing, but you have to be present to the now in order for that to come about. But the path that is starting to unfold already in front of you is a beautiful one. And so it just depends on whether, this is yes or no for you, depends on whether you're willing to be in the present and move forward. So, if some of you brought questions about holding on to past things, then it's a no. If some of you brought questions about, is this the right path forward? It's clearly a yes. It just kind of depends on the question you brought. But the overall guidance is saying, get present, look in front of you, look at what's already unfolding, look at the path that's already kind of presenting itself. It's a beautiful path. Be with it, go with it, move with it. That is the ultimate answer here, whether you feel like you got a yes or no. The universe is like overriding that and just saying, just be with what is here, because it is leading to somewhere beautiful if you can be present to it. Okay, that is where I'm going to leave you guys. Oh, just one more thing here. I'm just noticing how this pink kind of matches here, and this is kind of like the dreamscape of where I feel like maybe you're coming from. And then at the end, we have this kind of deeper, burgundy flowers that match here. And this is the wish fulfillment card. This is the wish. kind of from dream space, and this is wish fulfillment, which is grounding this. And that step between to move from here to here is about getting grounded and being present and moving forward. Okay, I hope that answers your question. I hope it resonates. If so, and I know this was pretty specific, so if that felt really hard to apply to your question, maybe pick a different pile, because this did get a little bit specific. But anyway, if this did resonate for you, I do always appreciate the things like, share, subscribe, and definitely always am grateful to see kind and thoughtful comments in the comments section. Nice to just hear a real human, emojis and voices, whatever you want to put in there. All right. I hope you guys have a beautiful day wherever and whenever you are. All right. See you guys.